We shared the first two introduction classes. Hope everyone received them, right? First two classes you received. So today's class is class number 3, introduction class 3. Out of 5 introduction classes total, today's class is class number 3, guys. In the class 3, I said that first, let me give a quick recap of class 1 and class 2. Within 1-2 minutes, I'll give the recap of class 1 and class 2. Class 1, I discussed introduction to data analysis and Power BI. This is what I discussed in the class 1. Yesterday's class is what? Class number 2. What I discussed in the class 2? Okay. First, before that, I discussed how to install Power BI Desktop. How to install? How to install Power BI Desktop we discussed. Have you installed Power BI Desktop? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes. If not, please install it. After installing Power BI Desktop, what is the next one we discussed is, in Power BI Desktop, we know how many softwares are there? 3 softwares. We discussed about what? In the last class, we discussed about introduction to Power Query. In the class number 2, I discussed about introduction to Power Query. So today, we want to start today's class is class number 3. I want to discuss introduction to Power Pivot. Which software? Before I start introduction to Power Pivot, I will discuss few points about Power Query. Few points. Okay. Let's see. Now, how to open Power Query? So to open Power Query, first you need to open which software? When I double click on it, it will open Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop shortcut is there, right? When I double click on it, it will open Power BI Desktop. Once it open Power BI Desktop, you need to click on what? First step in the Power BI Desktop is we need to click on blank report so that it will successfully open. Now you need to open Power Query. Tell me how to open Power Query here. Go to Home tab, click on Transform Data. It will open a new screen. In Power Query, what is the first step? Okay, you successfully open Power Query Editor User Interface. What is the first step? Extracting the data using new source. Extracting the data using new source. Click on, let's say I want to bring some tables here from Excel. Click on new source, Excel. Let's say I want to bring it from sample superstore. Click on open. Once I open, it will show the list of tables. Go and select what tables you need. I want orders table, people's table, and returns table. Just press OK. Next step. Let's say I want to bring some more tables from another Excel. Tell me how to bring some more tables from another Excel here. Again, click on new source. Again, this time you need to click on one more time called what? Excel. This time EMP Excel. Click on open. When I click on open, it will open another Excel and it will show the tables. Select EMP table, DEPT table, and managers table. Press OK. You got another 3 tables now. Let's say I want to bring some more tables here from SQL Server. How to bring some more tables from SQL Server? Again, new source. We need to click on this time what? SQL Server. We need enter server name. I said that who will provide the server name? Companies. You just need to take that server name and you need to enter it. Just press OK. It will open that server and it will show list of databases. Tell me, yesterday from which database we bought the tables yesterday? Product database. We expand the product database. I'll provide all these databases to you. We expand the product database and we select the tables. Customers table, product table, and what? Sales table. I selected the 3 tables what I required for reporting. Press OK. I'm giving a recap of yesterday's class quickly. Now, okay, these 9 tables are sufficient for me to create the reports. What is the next step? Once you bought the table, I extracted the table. Extraction is done. What is the next step after extraction? Transformation. Now we need to select each table and we need to look at the data. Data is in the proper format or not. We need to see and we need to transform. Assume orders table have proper data. Go to returns table then. Returns table don't have proper column headers. The first row is header. How to move the first row to header? Use first row as header. I said that in Power Query, to do the ETL, we don't need to write the code. We don't need to write the code. We need to use what options? GUI options. What is the full form for GUI? Is graphical user interface. Let me write here. What is the full form for GUI? GUI stands for graphical user interface options. So what you need to understand is Power Query have many GUI options. Power Query have multiple GUI options. Multiple GUI options are there. That GUI options we will use for what purpose? If you go to this Power Query editor, I'm in the Power Query software now. When I go and look at this Power Query, lot of options are there. Conditional column is one GUI option. Merge column is one GUI option. Duplicate column is custom column is GUI option. Invoke custom function is lot of GUI options are there in the Power Query editor. Power Query software have multiple GUI options. That GUI options we use to perform what? ETL. We don't write any code. If you remember, last class I said that in Power Query to perform ETL, we no need to write what? Any code. We will do it using what? GUI options. So now here to move the first row to header, we need to go to Home tab. In the Home tab, I need to use a GUI option called what? Use first row as header. Now this table is looking good. Go to returns table now. Returns table also don't have proper column headers. I need to move this first row to header. How to move this first row to header is again Home tab. Click on what? Use first row as header. When I click on use first, this table also looking good now. Go to EMP table. This table is okay. Table also having proper data. Manager table also have proper data. Then go to customers table. Yesterday what I said about customers table. In customers table you have first name, middle name, last name. But client is asking to show what? Full name. So in customers table, I need to combine first name, middle name, last name to full name, guys. How we combined yesterday? We select first name, hold the control button, then select middle name, then select last name, then go to where? Add column and click on what? Merge columns. That is what I used in the yesterday. When I click on merge columns, it will ask you to add the separator. What is the separator you want? I select space. What is the new column name? Customer full name. When I press OK, what we noticed is it will add a new step here. And when it add a new step, when you scroll towards right to the end, you will see one column with the name called what? Customer full name. This one I derived it in Power Query. I transformed it. Now go to product data table. Okay, customers table have now customer full name. Okay, it is having data. Go to product table. In product table, product name currently in the proper case. Currently in where? Proper case. Client want to see in what? Uppercase. How we converted this proper case to uppercase yesterday? Select the product name. Go to transform tab. Format. I used a GUI option called what? Uppercase. When I click on uppercase, what happens? It will add one third step and it will convert to uppercase or not. Go and just click on uppercase. It added a new step, uppercase the text, and it converted the product name to uppercase. What I need to explain here is with one click, you are transforming the data. Okay. So we are not writing any code in Power Query. With just a click, we are transforming the data. In Power Query, we do ETL using GUI option. Here, when I remove the third step again, product name is in proper case again. Why? You remove the step. How you convert it? Select it, transform, format, click on what? Uppercase. Does it convert it to uppercase or not? With one click, how data is converting to uppercase is important point is behind every GUI option, Microsoft already written the code. It's not something magic. Behind every GUI option, Microsoft already written code. When you use the GUI options, underlying code will execute and provide the results. I'll show you. When we use GUI options, underlying code, every GUI option will have what? What we are trying to tell is behind every GUI option, we have a code we are telling. Who written that code behind every GUI option we are telling? Microsoft. When we use the GUI option, underlying code will execute. Underlying code will execute and provide results. And provide what? Results, guys. So let me show you. We are telling that behind every GUI option, Microsoft written the code, right? When Microsoft written the code, they might use one language. They might use what? Language. What is the language they might use behind that is they used a language called M language. What is the language Microsoft use? M. So they might need to use one language like either C language, C++ language, Java language, or Python language. Some language they need to use to write that code. So they don't use all this language. They use one language called what? M. M stands for mashup language. What is the full form for M? Mashup language. M stands for mashup language. Let me show you that code, guys. So you remove this third step one more time. Now product name is in proper case again, right? To convert it to uppercase, I said that we select this product name, we go to transform, we used an option called what? Uppercase. Behind this option, you will have what? Code. Who written that code? Microsoft. When I use this option, what happens? That code will execute and provide the result, right? See that now. When I go to format, when I click on uppercase, it will add the third step, right? When you go to the third step, you can see the code. When I go to the format, when I click on uppercase, it will add the third step. When I select the third step, when you go here, do you see the code here or not? Yes. This is some code. This is which language code it is? M language or mashup? Developer writing code or automatically getting this code? Automatically getting this code behind geo option. What is the M language function they used is text.upper is one function. Which language function it is? M language. To this function, they're passing which column? English product name. This function is converting this product name to uppercase. You don't need to think much about this code, but just I want to give an idea. When you use any option in the backend, you will get this kind of code. That code is responsible to get this result. Even when you go to customer data table, you derive the customer full name. After sales data column, you have customer full name. You derive the customer full name in which step? Third step, right? When I go and remove the third step, what happens? Do you have customer full name now? After sales data, you don't have customer full name. How to derive it again? Let's say I want to derive the customer full name again. What we do? Select first name, middle name, last name. We go to where? Add column. We click on which option? Merge columns. I said that when you use any geo option, in the backend, you will have what? Code which was written by Microsoft. That code will execute and provide the result. Let me show that code also. Click on what? Merge columns. You choose separator as space. You choose new column name as customer full name. What is that? Customer full name. As soon as you press OK, it will add one third step, right? When I press OK, I can notice third step. When I select this step and when I go here, I can see the code. This time, a different function it is using. Previously, what is the function you seen here? Text.start upper. Now, text.combine, a different function. Each option will have a different code. So this code is giving this result, customer full name. Now see the text.combine is the function. To that function, they pass first name, they pass middle name, they pass last name, and they pass the separator in double quotes. What is the separator they pass in double quotes? Space. In the older days, to get the customer full name, developers need to write this kind of code. Old softwares I'm talking about. When you are working in the old softwares, to get the customer full name, developers need to write this kind of code. Nowadays, developers no need to write this kind of code. They can get this output using what? GUI options. Now, tell me, you can modify the code in this formula bar. This is a formula bar we can modify the code. Now, when I go and change this code, will the output change or remain same? See here, you have a space. I give comma here. When I go and hit enter, is the output changing? Yes, you got comma. That means this code working in the backend or not? When I go and remove the comma and when I run this code, now the output is changing or not? That's what I written here. Behind every geo option, Microsoft already written what? Code. When you use the geo options, underlying code will execute and provide what? Results. Microsoft written the code using which language? M language. In Power Query, 99.9%, we can do the ETL activities. We can do the ETL using what? Geo options. There are exceptional case. We will write the code using a language called what? Mashup language. I'll tell you how to write the code. In what scenarios we will write the code using M language also I'll tell you. Most important one in Power Query is what? Learning the geo options. Learning the geo options. You will do the lot of work using geo options. Very rarely you will write the code. We'll see that. This is all about. Final point is Power Query uses what language? MR
Mashup.
mashup language. MR mashup language. Remember that point. Power Query uses. In Power Query, you will do ETL using what? GUI. But the GUI options will have what code? M language code. But that means the code They used in Power Query's mashup language code. Okay. Now I have a proper data in customers table and product table also. And I go to sales table also, I have proper data. Now I bought the 9 tables. 9 tables have proper data, guys. What is the next step? By this time, you extracted the tables. You transform the data in the tables. What is the next step? Load. How to load the tables? Close and apply. When I click on close and apply in Power Query, when I click on close and apply, what happens? It will load all the 9 tables. Currently, how many tables are there? 9 tables. 9 tables will load into where? Power Pivot. Power Pivot, and it will close the Power Query software. What it will do? It will close the, when I click on close and apply, it will load the tables and it will close the software. Right. So now you have 9 tables here. You are trying to load that 9 tables to where? Power Pivot using an option called what? Close and, when I click on close and apply, you see it is loading how many tables here? 9 tables. It is loading 9 tables, and it will close the Power Query. You are back to which screen again? Power BI desktop screen. Now, how many screens are there now? Only one. One screen was closed. Now, to see that 9 tables, what I loaded, where I need to go? Model view. Yesterday I said that whatever the tables you loaded from Power Query to where? Power Pivot, we can see the tables in where? Model view. When I go to model view, I can see the 9 tables which I loaded here. 1, 2, 3. When I scroll towards right, another 3, 3, 4, 5. And when I scroll right, 6, 7. So 6, 7, 8, 9. How many tables are there totally? You can see 9 tables are there in the model view. Okay, in the model view, we can see only table definition. Now I want to see whether product name is in uppercase or not. It is not possible to see the data. Model view is which software? This is currently I'm in the model view. It is what software? It is Power Pivot. It is what? Power Pivot. When I go to model view, when I look at the table, I cannot see the data in the model view. In the model view, I can see only table name and I can see column name. I'm curious to understand. Okay, I transformed the data in the Power Query. I loaded the transformed data into Power Pivot. In Power Pivot, I'm planning to see the data. What you are planning to see? Data. Can I see the data in the model view? In the model view, you can see table names and column names only. We cannot see the data. In order to see the data in the table, we need to go to the middle view called what? Table view. When I go to table view, select what table data you need to see. I selected product data table. Now you are seeing what table data here? Product data. In this table, product name is in uppercase or not? Yes, it have transformed data. Now I want to see customers table data. Click on which table here? Customers table. When I scroll towards right, do I see customer full name or not here? Yes. When I select orders table, I can see the orders table data here. Now you are seeing this data in Power Query or Power Pivot? Power Pivot. After loading the tables to Power Pivot, if you want to see the data, you want to see that data in where? Table view. Table view is also related to Power Pivot. Now, when you have the data in the table, client cannot understand. In this orders table, I have a region column and I have a sales column. What you have? Region and sales. In the region column, how many regions are there? Central, east, south, west. 4 regions are there. That 4 regions, what you have here? Sales. My client is asking to show region-wise sales. What they're asking? Region-wise sales. How to show region-wise sales? So by looking at this table, I cannot understand which region is doing how much sales. If you want to understand this table data, you need to present this table data in which format is visual format. Which format? Where you will present this table data in the visual format is in the report view. Where? If you want to present the table data in the report format, go to report view, visual format. When I go to report view, you'll get one white space. What is this name of this white space is? We call this white space as report canvas. What is the name? Report canvas. What you will do in the report canvas? Build visuals with your data. Now data is there in how many tables? 9 tables. In the right hand side, you have 9 tables, right? I can use this 9 tables and I can build what? Visuals. So what is the first visual client is asking to see? Region-wise sales. To show region-wise sales, there are a lot of visuals available here. Let me take a column chart for time being. I taken one column chart. What I would like to show in the column chart, region-wise sales. Go to which table? Orders, drag which column? Region, drag which column? Sales. Go to the format, enable the data labels. Enable the data labels. Now, are we able to see region-wise sales? Yes. So which region is doing highest sales now? West is the one. Which is doing lowest sales? South. I can tell each region what is the sales it is doing or not. Simple, guys. Whatever the data is there in the table. See, in Power Pivot, you have tables, right? Can I go to the tables and understand the data, region-wise sales, and I cannot analyze region-wise sales. When you can analyze that table data, you need to present in what format? Visual format. Where you will present table data in the visual format, I'm telling? Report view. Just understand high level. Okay. Now let's start understanding today's class about what? Power Pivot. You extracted the tables, you transform the data in the tables, you load the tables to Power Pivot, right? Now, whatever the tables I loaded into Power Pivot, using the tables, I need to design a what? OLAP. I need to design a OLAP. Now I want to explain about how I will design the OLAP in the Power Pivot. Right? Let's start Power Pivot, guys. The first point you need to know about Power Pivot is first point we need to know about Power Pivot is Power Pivot is a database. What is Power Pivot? First point, we are trying to understand introduction to which software? Power Pivot. First point you need to know is Power Pivot is a database. We are telling it's a database. Tell me a few examples of databases. You might be aware of some databases, right? Examples for databases. Tell me a few examples for databases. What you know? SQL Server, not SQL.
Can I,
SQL Server, Oracle.
can I,
If you keep on writing, we can write lot of databases. In this list, we can even add which one? I added which one? Power Pivot is also a what? Database. How SQL Server is one database? How Oracle is one database? Power Pivot is also what? Database, one database. What is the use of databases? Okay, we are telling it's a database, right? What is the use of database? Database is used to store data in the form of what? Tables. You take any database, the database will store the data in the form of tables. In SQL Server, data will be in the form of tables. In Oracle, data will be in the form of tables. In Power Pivot, also data will be stored in the form of what? Tables. Now you loaded how many tables from Power Query to Power Pivot now? 9, right? That 9 tables are storing in where? Power Pivot, right? How Power Pivot can store that 9 tables? Because it's a database. So that is the first point. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create OLAP, which is used to create OLAP. I said that in the data analysis, company will provide OLTPs. Who will provide OLTPs? Company. Company provide OLTPs and that OLTPs contains business data. Once company provided OLTPs, they will expect to create what? Reports. Can I create reports on OLTPs? No. I said that OLTPs contains raw data. When OLTPs contains raw data or unstructured data, first we need to clean the data. So in Power BI, where we will clean the data is using a software called what? Power Query. We need to bring the data into Power Query. In Power Query, we need to do what? ETL. That clean data, we need to store it in some place. Okay, you bought the data and you cleaned it. That will be stored in some place, right? Where you will store? Power Pivot. Power Pivot is the place where you will store it. So whatever the clean data you loaded, you will store it here, and using that data, you will design what? OLAP. That's what I written here. That Power Pivot OLAP database used to create what? Reports. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create OLAP. That OLAP, we will use it for what? Creating the reports. Okay. So we know that from this, you need to take the data and do the ETL in where? Using a software called what? Power Query. After doing the ETL, using the data, you need to design a OLAP in where? In Power Pivot. Okay. That OLAP, we will use it for what? Create reports. And we know where we will create that reports? Power View. Okay, fine. Now, step into the next point. So here, okay, I loaded the tables. I want to design the OLAP database, right? In Power Pivot, to design the OLAP database, Power BI developer need to perform 2 activities. How many activities he need to perform? 2 activities. One activity he need to perform is data modeling. Let me write here. To create OLAP database in Power Pivot, Power BI developer need to perform below 2 activities. To create OLAP database in Power Pivot, in where? Power Pivot. Power BI developer need to perform. Power BI developer need to perform below 2 activities. Below 2 activities. What are the 2 activities he need to perform is? First activity he need to perform in the Power Pivot is data modeling activity. What is the name of this first activity? Data modeling. What is the name of the second activity? Is enhancing the data model with the help of a language called DAX language. Which language? DAX. These two activities we need to do. When you do this data modeling and enhancing the data model with DAX language, then it will create one OLAP database. It will create what? OLAP. So far I extracted the tables, I transform the tables, I load the tables to Power Pivot. In Power Pivot, I need to do two works. First work I will do data modeling. Second work I will do in Power Pivot is what? Enhancing the data model with the help of a language called what? DAX. When I do these two works will create what? One OLAP. Okay, one OLAP. Okay. So we need to understand what is this. First, I'll make you understand about what? Data modeling. First, quickly we'll understand data modeling, and then we will understand enhancing the data model. Go to data modeling now. What is data modeling? So what is data modeling is establishing the relationship between the tables. We call it as data modeling. What is the definition? Establishing the relationships between tables we call as data modeling. Understand? Sorry guys. What happens? Establishing the relationship between the tables. We call it as what? Data modeling. If you go and see, if you go and see between products table and sales table, you are seeing one line here. If you observe in the model view, if you go and observe between product table and sales table, we have the line, right? We call that line as a relationship. We call that line as a what? Relationship. Between customers table and sales table also you are seeing what? Line. We call that relationship. What we are telling is after loading the tables into the Power Pivot, into the model view, we need to give these relationships. We need to give this relationship. When I scroll towards right, if you see whether this EMP table, DEPT table have any relationship? No. EMP table, manager table, do you have any relationship? No. Even here, this orders table, returns table, and people's table, do you have any relationship? No. For the tables which we don't have relationships, we need to define them. That is the first work in Power Pivot. We call it as what? Data modeling. So nowadays, softwares have lot of inbuilt artificial intelligence. So that AI will do some work automatically. If you see, am I the developer is the one who given the relationships, or we got it automatically? When I'm in the model view, between some tables, you already see the relationship here. Was this relationships was established by me, or you are getting automatically? You are getting automatically. So right one point, majority of data modeling work, majority of data modeling work will be done by Power BI itself. Will be done by which software? Power BI itself, because of inbuilt AI, because of inbuilt AI, guys. Because of what? Inbuilt AI. So let me tell you, I can ask Power BI to create some more relationship. Currently, it created relationship only between few tables. So Power BI have intelligence to create some more relationships also. Let me tell you how it will create. So it can create the relationship between EMP table, DEPT table, and managers table also. How it can create is go to model view. In the model view, there is an option called what? Manage relationship. When I go to manage relationship, there is an option called what? Auto detect. This now currently how many relationships you have is 2. How many you have? 1, 2. When I click on auto detect, just observe what happens. Found 3 new relationships. When I click on close, previously 2 are there. Now another 3 we got. Totally 5. When I go and click on close, now go and observe here. Do you have the relationship between EMP table and DEPT table now? Yes. EMP table and manager table? Yes. What is happening? Majority of data modeling work will be done by what? Power BI itself, because of what? Inbuilt AI. In the coming classes, I'll clearly discuss in the back end how the AI is working and how you are getting all these relationships automatically. I'll discuss. Even here, between people's table and orders table, we got the relationship. Almost all the tables got the relationship except which table? Returns table. That missing relationships developer will give it. Okay, don't worry about this point. I'll discuss in the later classes. Now, okay, don't learn anything blindly. What I'm trying to tell here, after loading the tables, We are telling that between the tables, we need to give the relationship we are telling, right? So cross question, why we need to give the relationship? Now, when I go to model view, when I go to manage relationship, I'll go and delete all the 5 relationship. Select this checkbox and click on what? Delete. When I click on delete, do you have any relationship here now? When I click on close, does any table have relationship now? No. So I said that after loading the tables to Power Pivot, we need to go and give what? Relationship. Now my question is, why we need to give the relationship? What is the problem when you leave the tables like this without giving the relationship? So question is, why we need to do data modeling? Why we need to do data modeling? Okay, in Power Pivot, first work is data modeling. Power BI developer need to do data modeling first work. Why? Why we need to do data modeling? The same question I can ask like this. Why we need to establish the relationship in the tables? Why we need to establish relationship between the tables? Why we need to establish the relation? Why we need to establish the relationship between the tables? So for both the questions, answer is same, guys. Why we need to do data modeling, or why, both questions are same. First of all, let me answer this question. To answer this question, tell me, guys, when there is any company, when there is a company will do business. When a company is doing the business, from the business they'll get business data. When any company is doing the business, it will get business data. We know that when business data is getting, that business data will be stored in some data source. Any company, when business data is getting, they will store in some data source or not. When a company is getting, that business data will be stored in some data source, might be in SQL Server or somewhere. In the data source, data will be stored in one table or multiple tables. Imagine my company is storing the data in SQL Server. The data will be stored in the SQL Server in one table or multiple tables. Multiple tables for easy management purpose. What purpose? Multiple tables. Business data will be stored in where? Multiple tables. Final point is, companies will store their business data and the data source in where? Multiple tables. Okay, majority of the cases, clients will ask to create the visuals using more than one tables. Majority of the cases, clients will ask to create visuals using what? Visuals using more than one tables. Using more than one tables, not using one table, more than one tables. So take an example. My client is asking to create a visual to show product name by sales. What is the visual client is asking to create? Client is asking to create one visual. In the visual, they would like to see product name and they would like to see what? Sales. Tell me, product name column is available in which table? Product data, drag the product name. Sales column is available in which table? Sales data, drag the sales column. Then you can show what? Product name wise sales. In order to show this visual, how many tables you need to use? 2 tables. That's what I written here. Majority of the cases, clients will ask to create visuals using what? More than one table. Take an example. My client is asking to create another visual where they would like to see customer name by sales. In the second visual, what they would like to see? Customer name and sales. To take the customer name, you need to go to customers table, drag the customer name. To take the sales, you need to go to sales table, drag the sales. Again, to create the visual, how many tables? 2 tables. Let's say my client is asking to create another visual where they would like to see employee name and location. In this visual, client want to see what? Employee name and what? Location. To show the employee name, I need to go to which table? Employee table, you have a column called what? Employee name. I want to drag it. That employee in which location he is working is there in where? Department table. I need to go and drag it. To show employee name and location, how many tables I need to use? 2 tables. Like this, majority of cases we need to create the visuals using more than one table. Okay. Now, to answer this question even much better, let's go and check the data in the EMP table and DEPT table first. To check the data in the EMP table, where I need to check it? Currently, I'm in the model view. When I look at the EMP table, I cannot see the data here. In order to see the data in this table, where I need to go?
Table view.
I want to see the data in this table. You need to go to table view. Go to table view, select which table? Employee table, I can see the data. What columns are there? Employee number, employee name, their job, manager number, height date, salary, commission, and department number. Take one employee. Who is this employee? Smith. What is his salary? 800. What is his commission? 400. In which department is working? 20. I want to understand Smith is working in which location? In the employee table, do you have location information here? No. Location information is available in where? Department table. To know the Smith's location, we need to go to which table? Department. Smith is working in which department? 20. Take that 20 and go to DEPT table. 20th department employees are working from where? Dallas. That means Smith is working in where? Dallas. Now go to EMP table and I want to know King is working in which location. There is a second employee here, King. I would like to know King is working in which location. How to know? 10. You go to which table? Department. 10th department employees are working from where? New York. That means King is working from where? New York. Smith is working from where? Dallas. Okay. Now, client is asking to create one visual to show employee name and location. To create the visual, can I create the visual in the model view? Can I create the visual in the model view? No. Can I create the visual in the table view? No. Where? Report view. I said that you need to go to report view. Click on new page. Go and take one table visual. Client is asking to show employee name and location. What they would like to see? Employee name and location. Like employee name Smith, location Dallas. Employee name King, location New York. Like this I need to show. So to show that, I need to go to which table now? Employee, drag the employee name. Does it shows the employee names? Yes. Along with the employee name, you need to show what? Location. Go and drag from DEPT table, go and drag what? Location. Does it showing? No. What is the error message you got? Cannot determine the relationship between the fields. So you are trying to create one visual using EMP table and what? DEPT table. So visual is not showing the data this time because it is telling that there is no what? Relationship. Visual can show the data only when you have what? Relationship. Now you can answer this question. Why we need to do data modeling or why we need to establish the relationship between the tables is to create visuals using more than one tables. To create what? Visuals using more than one tables. We need to have relationship between the tables. We need to have what? Relationships between tables. Between the tables. When you have the relationship between the tables, then only we can create visuals. Then only we can create what? Visuals. Now you guys tell me, in order to see the data in this visual correctly, what you need to do is we need to go and give relationship between which tables? Employee table and department table. To give the relationship, we need to go to model view. Where is the specific place you can give the relationship between the tables is by going to where? Model view. Write that point. Model view is the place where we will do the data modeling work. Model view is the place where we will do data modeling work. Data modeling work, guys. Go to model view and go and give the relationship. I'm in the model view now. Where I am now? Model view. So in order to give the relationship between the tables, we need a common column. Try to understand. To establish the relationship in the tables, we need to have a common column in the table. Important point. To establish the relationship in the tables, to establish the relationship in the tables, to establish the relationships between the tables, we need a what? Common. We need what? Common column in the tables. We need common column in the tables. Tell me, guys, I'm planning to give the in the model view. I'm planning to give the relationship between EMP table and DEPT table. I said that we need to have a common column in the tables. What is the common column here? Department number. On what basis I said Smith is working in Dallas? Department number. On what basis I said Smith is working in, King is working in New York? Department number. Here department number is what? Common column. So I need to give the relationship between these two tables based on this department number. To give the relationship, it is easy, guys. Select the department number in one table, drag and drop on department number in another table. That's it. Select the department number in one table, exactly drag and drop it on what? Another table. When I drag and drop it, it open a window called what? New relationship window. And just click on what? Save. When I click on save, do you got the relationship now? Yes. So don't think much. I'm deleting this one more time. How I give the relationship? Select the department number, drag and drop on what? department number. It open a window called new relationship. Go with the default values. I'll talk about this window clearly in the coming classes. Click on save. When I click on save, I got successfully a relationship based on what column? Department number. Will the visual show the data now? Yes. When I go and check the data in the visual, you are able to see employee name and location correctly. Go and look at the employee's King. What is his location? New York. Is it correct? Go and look at the employee Smith. What is the location? Dallas. Is it correct? Yes. Now, client is asking to show manager name here. What is the information they would like to see in the visual? Manager name. They would like to see who is the manager for Smith. When I go to the employee table, do you have manager name in the employee table? Is I have a Smith. Smith manager number is there. But in the employee table, you don't have what? Manager name is not there. So manager name is available in another table called what? Manager table. Who is the manager for manager number for Smith is 7902. Take the 7902 and go to manager table. 7902 is which person? Ford. Smith manager is what? Ford. My requirement is now in this visual, I need to show the manager name for Smith manager as what? Ford. So when you want to show the manager name, you need to drag the column from which table? Managers table. Go to the managers table, go and drag the manager name. When I drag the manager name, will it show the data? Yes or no? It will not show. Why it will not show? If you look at this manager table is not related. In order to see the data in this visual, we need to give the relationship between these two tables. In order to give the relationship, we need to come to model view. To give the relationship, we need a common column. What is the common column between these two tables? Manager number. There is a manager number column. Select the manager number in one table, drag and drop on manager number in another table. It will open a new relationship window. Click on save. You got a relationship based on manager number or not? Yes. Now visual will show data, yes or no? When I go to the visual, when I go here, you are looking at a Smith. Who is the manager for Smith? Ford. Like this, to see the data. Now I created the visual using how many tables now? 3 tables. I created a visual using these 3 tables now. Visual is comfortably showing the data because they have what? Relationships. People will ask, when there is no common column, can I give the relationship? When I notice manager table and people table, there is no common column in these 2 tables. Can I give the relationship here? Not possible. Must and should you need a common column? Without common column, I cannot give the relationship. Just imagine these 2 tables don't have the same column. I cannot give the relationship. Then I cannot use these 2 tables to create the visuals. Don't worry. Client never asks you to create the visual using 2 tables which we don't have common data. Only they will ask to create the visuals when there is a what? Common data, common column or common data. You don't think much about it. Lot of people will ask, what if there is no common column in the table? How I can give the relationship? You cannot give the relationship. Fine. That is about data modeling, guys. We got a basic idea. Just I'm giving everything introduction. So yesterday in Power Query, I give the introduction about to what? ETL. And in Power Pivot, I said that we will do 2 works. One work is what? Data modeling. Just I give an introduction to data modeling. 6 hours of time. Extensively, I'll talk about only data modeling things. Data modeling is the important work for the Power BI developer. I'll talk lot of things about data modeling. Okay. By this time, we are done with the data modeling also, guys. So now, second work we need to start. What is the second work in Power Pivot? Enhancing the data model with DAX. Before we start the second work, let me tell you. So what are the steps? Second step is important. What are the steps we performed so far? Yesterday, we installed Power BI Desktop, right? After installing Power BI Desktop, after installing which software? Power BI Desktop. What are the steps we performed so far? Steps we performed so far. You guys tell me. What are the steps I performed so far after installing Power BI Desktop? First step, after installing Power BI Desktop, I go and open the Power BI Desktop. What I do in the first step? Open which software? Power BI Desktop. Once I open the Power BI Desktop, second step what I do is I open Power Query. After I go and open the Power BI Desktop, from there I open what? Power Query. That is the second step I do. Second step, I go and open Power Query using transform data option. Which option? transform data. Once you open Power Query, what is the third step you do is you extract tables from data source. From where? Data source. As soon as I open Power Query, I connected to data source, I extract the tables. I extract the tables. After extracting the tables, what is the fourth step I do? No. Transform the data in the tables. Transform the data in the tables. What is the fifth step you do? Load tables to Power Pivot. What is the fifth step? Load tables to where? Power Pivot. That is the fifth work. What is the sixth work I do? After I load the tables to Power Pivot, we given what? Relationships. After loading the tables into the Power Pivot, I given what? Relationships. What is the next step I do is, in sixth step, establish the relationship between the tables. Establish the relationships between tables. Between tables. In short, we call this as data modeling. In short, we call this as what? Data modeling. In which specific place you do this? We do this in the model view. In order to do that, I go to where? Model view, and I do that. So these are the 6 steps I perform. After the 6th step, what is the 7th step I need to do is, 7th step I need to do what? Enhance the data model. Enhance the data model. Before I tell this, let's understand above 6 steps will create one data model. Above 6 steps will create a data model. What is the meaning is, in the Power Pivot, now you have some tables, right? And the tables have what? Relationships, right? These tables and relationships together, I can call it as one data model. I can call it as what? One data model. These tables and these relationships together is a what? Data model. Okay, above 6 steps will create one data model. I can use these tables and relationships in Power View. I can start creating what? Visuals. Okay, now you have a lot of tables and the tables have relationships. Now you can go to Power View, you can start creating the visuals. But important point is, with the data model, we can show only 70 to 80% of information in the visuals. With the data model, we can only show how much? 70 to 80% of information in where? In visuals, guys. In where? Visuals. With the data model, we can show only 70 to 80% of information in the visual. It is not possible to show 100% of information in the visuals with these tables and relationships. What is the meaning? Here you need to concentrate, guys. Clients will ask you to show new information in the visuals. Try to understand. Clients will ask to show new information in the visuals which is not readily available in data model. Visuals which is not readily available in data model. What is the meaning? I'll tell you about these points available in data model. Okay, so there are sometimes clients will ask you to show new information. Let's give an example. Go to report view. I'm just taking a new page. Client is asking to create one visual. I'm taking a table visual. Double click on the table visual, you'll get it. What they're asking to show is, they're asking to show region wise sales. What they're asking to show? To show region wise sales, I can go to orders table. I can drag the region column. I can drag the sales column. Till here, I'm able to show comfortably each region what sales it is doing. Am I able to show region wise sales? Yes. So beside this region wise sales, client is asking to show percentage of sales. What they're asking to show? Percentage of sales case. When I go and look at this visual, central region, how much percentage sales we are getting? East region, how much percentage sales? That they are asking. When they're asking here, when I go and look at this orders table, when I search for percentage sales, nowhere I find percentage sales information in the tables. What you don't have in the tables? Percentage. Region is there in the table. You drag the region. Sales is there in the table. You drag the sales. But what is not there? Percentage sales. Percentage sales is not there in the table. So then it is not there in the table. It is what information? New information. Client would like to see the new information in the visual, which is not available in where? Tables. So I'm repeating again. With the data model, we can show how much information? 80 only. Remaining information is what? New information. Clients will ask you to show lot of new information in where? Visuals, which is not readily available in what? Data model. Who need to derive that new information and show it is developer. Who need to derive this new information? One small example I given here is client is expecting to see some new information with the name called percentage sales. What is that? Percentage sales. Who need to derive this percentage sales and show it in the visuals is developer. To derive this percentage sales, we need to go and do what? Enhance the data model. The current data model is showing how much information? 80. In order to show 100%, I want to make some changes to what? Data model. Making the changes to the data model, we call it as what? Enhancing the data model. I need to make some changes to the current data model is able to show only 80%. In order to show 100%, I need to make some changes to the data model. Making the changes to the data model, we call it as what? Enhancing the data model. What is the definition for enhancing the data model is creating new information using existing information we call as enhancing the data model. So what is the meaning for enhancing the data model? I'm telling creating what? New information. How will create the new information? I'm telling using existing information. See, in order to show percentage sales here, you no need to bring the information from outside and show it. So if you use current region sales divided by total, will you get the percentage sales? Yes, current region sales divided by total. If I use the existing information, that existing information can provide you what? New information. That's what I written. New information can be derived from where? Existing information. Only existing information cannot derive what? New information. It requires some supporting language. What is that supporting language we will use in Power Pivots? DAX. Try to understand. To derive the new information along with the existing information, I'll use one language called what? DAX. When I use this two, I can derive what? New information. DAX stands for Data Analysis Expression Language. What is the full form for DAX? Data Analysis Expressions. D stands for data, A stands for analysis, X stands for expressions, language. We call this language as a functional language. What is the name of this language? DAX language is not tough like Java language, .NET language like that. It is one language. How there are a lot of languages, Java, .NET like that. DAX language is very simple language because DAX language, why they call DAX language as functional languages? DAX language only contains functions. Only contains what? Functions. That functions we will make use to derive what? New information. If you go to Excel also, you'll have a lot of functions, right? So DAX language only have functions. We call it as functional language. Tell me few functions. Every software will have functions. DAX only have functions. What are the different functions? Sum, count, if, switch. If you keep on writing the function names, we can write a lot of functions. Date diff, date diff, if etc. You can write a lot of functions. This kind of functions are there in the DAX language. That is the reason they call it as what? Function language. These functions we will use it for what purpose? Deriving the new information. That we will see, guys. So tomorrow, class number 4. Class 4, complete 1 hour. This is the important one for the Power BI developer. Almost 40 minutes in the tomorrow's class. I'll talk about what? Enhancing the data model. What is this DAX language? How the DAX language, using the DAX language, how I'll derive the new information. All that I'll discuss 40 minutes. After that, we will complete the Power Pivot. After completing Power Pivot, we will understand what? Power View, how to go to Power View, create the visuals. After that, we will understand how to publish the report to Power BI service, how to share it. Few important points I'll discuss. Don't drop, guys. Few important points I'll discuss. These points are most important. Concentrate here. So tomorrow, As I said, class 4, I'll start this. I just give a idea. Now, I hope you got an idea why we need to enhance the data model. Why we need to enhance the data model? Because data model can show only how much information? 80. In order to show what? 100%, we need to do what? Enhance. I need to make some enhancements, right? Now, as we promised, we are done with 3 free classes, guys. Done with 3 free classes. It's time for the registrations. Better don't wait till uh, uh, till some more days. You need to start the practicals. Registered students will get 2 mails. Registered students will get, if you are fine with these 3 classes, what I discussed, you go and register, guys. What is the advantage of getting registered is you are going to get some emails. What are the 2 emails you will get is, the first email you are going to get is, let me show you. You are going to get the first email with a subject like this. I'm just going to show you directly. Source files and materials. You will get the email with the name called source files and materials. What is the name? Source files and materials. If you go here with this subject, you will get one mail, guys. Source files and materials. With this subject, one mail you will get. What that email will have is, when you go and open that email will have the Excel files. Today, to discuss Power BI, I take the data first from where? Excel. One Excel file I take is sample superstore Excel. Which Excel? From this mail, you can download this Excel and you can use this Excel in the Power BI. Yesterday, you installed Power BI, right? You want to start the practicals, right? You need the data, right? From this mail, you need to download this Excel. Today, I not only take data from sample superstore, I also take data from where? Employee DEPT. This Excel also you need to download and you need to take the data from this. And today, I not only take the data from where? Excel. I also take the data from where? SQL Server also, right? We connected to SQL Server, we bought the tables, right? Yes or no? Now, how you people can get the SQL? You will get one more mail. What is the second mail you are going to get is with the subject called SQL Server installation. What is the subject? SQL Server installation and data. SQL Server installation. Oh, sorry, yes. You have it here. You'll get another mail with the name called SQL Server installation. This is the subject of the mail. In the second mail, you'll have one video, guys. Second mail is important. What is the second mail is? So second mail will have one video. What you will have in the second mail? One video will be there. If you go to the second mail, you will have one video in that second mail. And this is the video you have. What is the video name? SQL Server installation. So in your laptop, try to understand. In your laptop, yesterday you install what software? Power BI Desktop. In your laptop, we not only want to install what? Power BI Desktop. Along that, you need to install what? SQL Server also. So how to install SQL Server in your laptop? Where you will find it? You will find in this video. That video will tell you step-by-step installation process, right? So what this video will tell you is, this video will tell you where to download SQL Server. First point it will tell you is what? Where to download SQL Server. Where to download what? SQL Server. Second, that video will tell you what? How to install which one? SQL Server in your laptop. Once you install SQL Server, you don't get the databases. If you remember today, from Power BI Desktop, when I connect to the SQL Server, how many databases you seen there? 8 databases. When I connect to SQL Server, how many databases you seen? 8 databases. When you install the SQL Server in your laptop, you will not get this 8 databases automatically. So we need to create it. How to create that 8 databases with hundreds of tables is, this video will tell you. So what is the last thing you need to understand from that video is how to create what? Databases. How to create databases. So how to where to download SQL Server, how to install. Once after that, you need to understand how to create 8 databases. You will understand from the video. So before tomorrow's class, you please download and install SQL Server. and create that 8 databases and try to bring the data from the database to where? Power BI desktop, right? Start practicals. When you are listening to the class, you'll think that everything is looking easy. But believe me, Power BI is easy when you do practice. When you don't do practice, you will forget. These are options. You are navigating from here and there. How much time we can remember without practice? We cannot remember. So just start practice, guys. People who are done with the 3 free classes, believe me, I'll provide within 60 hours of classes to you. That 60 hours of classes will clearly enough to do any type of Power BI project. Even one person separately, when you learn this course, you can do the project by your own. It's my promise. However, I delivered the first 3 classes. In the same way, I'll deliver all the 60 classes. don't, don't wait till last minutes to get registered. Get registered, take the source data and start practicing. Right, guys? Let's go with some questions now. I'm done with the class. We'll go with some questions now. Online people, anybody have any questions?